Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
Well, it's Friday.
It is Friday. It's Friday the 13th. No, it's not. It's Friday the 4th of January. Had some people going, wait, what? What's going on here? Today is National Missouri Day. Happy birthday, Missouri. National Spaghetti Day. Ooh, mamma mia. I like a spaghetti.
Yeah,
Also,
we're on a diet, though.
I know. National Trivia Day today as well. So maybe I'll give some trivia questions to Heidi later in the show. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Want me to drill you with some trivia questions? Okay.
Sure.
All right. So trivia question number 1. Who is our guest for today?
I don't know.
Oh, I do. It's Ronnie McDowell. Ronnie McDowell. He's the voice of Elvis in several movies. Has a bunch of his own hits, too. And we're going to be chatting with Ronnie McDowell coming
That was
up.
going to be my guess.
That was your second guess?
Yeah.
So, well, you would have been right. Now, if you paid attention around here, you'd know that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Want a good laugh to start every day? We do, and you can too. Be sure to follow WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com on Facebook. Every morning we send out our Weird Gift of the Day. You don't even have to buy anything. You can just follow our page and laugh at the bizarre real gift items we find and share every morning. And maybe you can share them with your friends who have a good sense of humor too. We have a link to make it easy to find us at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? We're wrapping this up, Heidi. I might actually be done today.
Last
And
one, huh?
Starting soon, we're going to have a new thing called Studies, Surveys, and Such.
Okay.
It's going to talk about studies or surveys or something else. So,
Okay.
But right now, is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Foothills, Phoenix, Arizona. What do you think?
Golf course. Yeah, that was
Golf
an
clap
easy
for
one.
Heidi. I think we've done that one before. That's why we have to finish this, because I'm pretty sure we've talked about other than the, municipal golf course. Which one is that, Heidi? Can't trick you with that one. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Cable and dish companies keep jacking up their rates. Join the cable cutting revolution with ChannelSurferTV.com. Watch TV with no monthly fee. Our DVR lets you record shows and pause live TV with no monthly fee. Want to stream movies? We have a device for that too. It works with Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and many other streaming platforms, so you can cut the cable and save a ton of money every month. Learn more at ChannelSurferTV.com. That's ChannelSurferTV.com.
And this is your brain on drugs. A Florida Keys man pulled over for speeding on Christmas Eve, locked his keys in his car when Monroe County Sheriff's deputies told him they were going to search the vehicle. They found a small amount of cocaine in there, heroin, methamphetamines, also amphetamine pills, marijuana inside the Lexus the 40-year-old Charles Albert Garcia had been driving. Deputy Jason Farr explained that he pulled him over a little bit after 11 p.m., clocking him going 70 in a 45-mile-per-hour zone.
Well, that's not smart.
No. He asked for his license. It was suspended. Would be reinstated soon. Not anymore. He was going to be searching the Lexus, and that's when he threw the keys in the vehicle, locked the doors, and a towing company had to come to unlock the doors, and they searched the vehicle, and that's when they found the drugs. So he thought it would be like, I can't do it now. Doors are locked. There's no way ever to get in this car.
Yeah, wow.
That's not how it works. That is the kind of thing you do when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Dozens of people walked out of Tiffany Haddish's New Year's Eve stand-up show in Miami. That's too bad. Can you imagine doing a stand-up comedy show and having people just get up and leave? That would be terrible.
Well, what did she say?
I don't know. Apparently not
she
something
must
they
have started
liked.
offending people.
We were just watching a comedy. We actually turned it off because I remembered him being so much funnier. Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
We were watching,
It was
I think Netflix just put a new thing
horrible.
on. But he was talking about how he was on a New Year's Eve thing in Las Vegas, and they say, time now for Sam Kinison. He walked up, and right when he got up there, told one joke, and then they did 10, 9, 8. And he's like, I was trying to compete with noisemakers.
Yeah.
And that would be really hard to compete with.
That would be tough, yeah.
So I can understand where that would be tough. I don't know if that's
still,
what
the
happened
whole
with
act
her.
was pretty
Yeah, I don't know.
awful.
I'm not sure what happened with Tiffany. Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth got married over the holidays in a small ceremony in Tennessee. I'm happy for them. That's really good. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Time now for your scoop of the day, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Lottery officials say one single winning ticket for the 425 Mega Millions jackpot was sold on Long Island. So if it was you, I mean, hey, how you doing?
Hello, friend.
Keep us in mind. How cool would that be to win $425
Oh my gosh, that would be
million?
so amazing.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Washington Governor Jay Inslee announced that he's running for president with his one single focus being climate change. So,
Okay. Good luck to you.
Well, and here's the thing. I'm not going to say anything about my opinion on that particular topic, but that's one where there are people who are really for that and people who really don't care.
And honestly, with everything else that's
There's
going
a lot
on
of
right
other
now,
stuff
that's
going on,
probably the...
I'm not saying it's not a big deal, because
yeah.
it is. But Jay Inslee, I wish you the very best, my friend. The new mayor of a town in Mexico called Oaxaca, Oaxaca, Oaxaca? How would you say that?
I don't know.
Anyway, he took office, very first day, was shot dead.
Whoa!
Think they don't like politics around here. That happened in Mexico. Wowzers. Very first day on the job, boom, done.
Yeah, that's a rough area.
Would you ever run for office, Heidi? Is that something that ever even crossed your mind where you think, I'd do that?
I'd be awesome at it.
I'd be good at being in charge of stuff.
I probably wouldn't, because I would have to get up in front of people and speak.
See, now I wouldn't mind getting up in front of people and speaking.
Me.
But here's what I wouldn't like, no matter, because I actually looked at running for city council. This is like 10 years ago. I had people asking me to in the town that we used to live in. And I was looking into it. I went to a bunch of city council meetings, and all it was like everybody is angry at you all the time. Mm-hmm. Because, no matter what you do, even though it's not
Well, I'm used to that anyway, so that part wouldn't bother me a bit.
That would be the tough thing, because you're saying, hey, I want to serve my community. I want to help. But there's only so much you can do, and then everybody's mad at you because you can't help enough. And I was like, yeah, take me off the list of...
Yeah, I don't think I'd do... I'd jump right into the national stuff.
So, put you down for a maybe? Put me down for a big fat no. No. Well, what if we put your name on a ballot? I will move to a different district? No, to a different state. So, no, I did not run. But that would just be a tough way. First day on the job, this mayor got shot dead. Yikes. Here's a story I almost didn't read on the program, Heidi.
Okay.
So, don't want to spend a lot of time on this. But I kind of have to, because it's just such a bizarre story. A former nun from Colombia... Mm-hmm. recently signed a contract with a pornographic company to do some movies. That just doesn't seem normal.
Former nun, though?
She's a former nun.
Okay, so she's not a nun anymore.
No.
So?
It just doesn't seem like the kind of thing. I don't know. We'll move on to the next story. Urban legend says gum will stay in your digestive tract for 7 years. But scientists say, no, probably not. It's true, your body cannot digest gum, and it's a rubber base. It's immune to an enzyme in your body. And it moves through your system, but it doesn't take a whole lot more time than any other substance that's not easily digestible, like corn, because corn also doesn't digest. That's why
it comes out whole.
There are times, for those of you who are wondering what that was, that's what that was. So there you go. Have you ever heard that? One of the other things, I remember when I was a kid, I remember my dad telling me you can't swallow not sunflower seeds. What are the things? Watermelon seeds. So if you do that, watermelon will grow in your tummy. And I was like, oh, is that what happened to that lady? No, she's pregnant, and you're an idiot. Hey, I was 12. What do you expect? So, no. So this whole thing here, I got a link to the story. Dr. Oz chimed in on the subject. Are you a Dr. Oz fan?
No, I don't pay any attention to that.
There are some people that really think that he's just the greatest out there, and there's others that are like, not so much. Coming up, we got more fun stuff to get to. This has been your scoop of the day on the John and Heidi Show.
At FunkyMonkeyShirts.com, we want to remind you it's never too early to start thinking about Valentine's Day. And what says I love you better than awesome, matching fun t-shirts? Get something for your sweetie and for you. We have several his and hers t-shirt designs to choose from at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Let the world know how much you love one another. And wear your heart on your sleeve. Well, at least on your shirt. With a little help from FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's funkymonkeyshirts.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We are super excited to visit with Ronnie McDowell. We've got him on the line right now. Many people know him as the voice of Elvis. Ronnie, how are you, sir?
Well, John, I'm doing great, but you're right. A lot of people know me that way, but most people know me by older women make better lovers, watching girls go by. You're going to ruin my bad reputation and all of my wonderful country records that I had.
Now, you are a country icon yourself, but you had a mentor that was also a country icon, Conway Twitty. What was it like working with him?
Well, I was with Conway for 8 years, working on the road with him, and you're right. He was not only my mentor and my friend, but he was like my dad. And I miss Conway. I think about him pretty much every day, and every night that I do a show, or whenever I do a show, I include the top 5 records that we had. It's only make-believe, and it's always unbelievable to hear Conway sing. I never get tired of listening to him when I go, "Take it, Conway," and he comes in and sings. It's only make-believe.
That is fantastic. Now, let's talk about your connection to Elvis Presley, because this is something that, many people probably know this, but I don't think everybody knows the whole story. So let's talk about how you're connected to Elvis Presley.
Well, I wrote The King Is Gone 41 years ago, co-wrote it with a friend of mine, Lee Morgan. It came out 2 days later, and, well, actually that afternoon that I recorded it, in a week it had sold 1 million records, and now it has sold 6 million records, and so that's how I got to be on American Bandstand with Dick Clark, and then he did a movie starring Kurt Russell portraying Elvis Presley. And I was Elvis's voice. I did 38 songs in that movie. And then after that, I did a movie with Priscilla Presley, Elvis's wife. And I did, I think, 36 songs in that movie, and that was called Elvis and Me. And I think I've done 12 movies so far doing Elvis's voice. And that's how I kind of got associated with Elvis. And then I went on to have my own career. My first #1 record was Older Women Make Better Lovers.
Nice. And I happen to be married to an older woman, so I agree. So
Oh, well, great.
She's only 1 year older, but, I always like to remind her of that.
Play her that song. She'll appreciate it.
Absolutely. Again, visiting right now with Ronnie McDowell. Now, you've got a tour this year. You're going to be out on the road. Where all will that tour be taking you, Ronnie?
Hey, John, I'm heading to... let's see, French Lick, Indiana. Then I'm going to Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, just everywhere, John.
And is there a place online that people can maybe find that tour schedule? If there is, I can throw a link in our show notes to make it easy to find you.
All they got to do is go to RonnieMcDowell.com.
Well, we'll make it really easy. In addition to just that, I'll put a link too to make it easy to find you. Now, over the course of time that you've had a chance to be the voice of Elvis, as we talked about. What is that like when you get tapped to be, the voice of this iconic musician who, kind of has his own style and his own sound, and you're able to almost exactly replicate that? What is that like to have somebody tap you and say, "Hey, we're doing this movie and we want you to be the voice of Elvis"? That's got to be kind of neat.
Well, it was a dream come true for me because Elvis was my icon, and so to be his voice, was just like I say, a dream come true. But, that was a thing that I did when I was a kid. I did voices. No matter who I would hear, I would try to emulate that voice. And Elvis was just easy for me, to be honest with you. So I'm just proud that I got to do that. Out of all the humans on the planet, I got to be Elvis Presley's voice in movies. And that's really saying something for me. It may not mean nothing to a lot of other people, but it means the world to me.
Well, I can understand how that would mean the world to you. I think that is fantastic. Again, our guest today has been Ronnie McDowell. He is the voice of Elvis in several different movies, and he's also got a lot of his own hits as well. Ronnie, I want to talk to you about one song in particular. You've got a song called The King Is Gone. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, here's a song that I wrote, co-wrote. I wrote the first part of it, and Didn't know it at the time, but I was writing my life.
Well, we're going to throw a link to Ronnie's website in our show notes, and I'm also going to put a link right to that song as well. Ronnie, thank you again for taking the time to visit with us.
John, I appreciate it, buddy.
Again, Ronnie McDowell has been our guest today. He's got a tour coming up this year. I'm going to throw a link to his website so you can find that, see if it's anywhere that you might be able to catch up with him. We also have a link to the video we were just talking about as well. It's all in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Cable and dish companies keep jacking up their rates. Join the cable cutting revolution with ChannelSurferTV.com. Watch TV with no monthly fee. Our DVR lets you record shows and pause live TV with no monthly fee. Want to stream movies? We have a device for that too. It works with Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and many other streaming platforms, so you can cut the cable and save a ton of money every month. Learn more at ChannelSurferTV.com. That's ChannelSurferTV.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Chevy Chase was the first member of the original Not Ready for Primetime Players to leave the cast of Saturday Night Live. Very first one. It was during the first season. He was like, I've done enough of this.
Yeah.
So, but people still remember him fondly from the time he was there. So he did a pretty good job that first season. Somebody that I was really interested in seeing what he was talking about, Rob Schneider, did an interview with him this last summer. Just saw on Instagram.
I really do like him.
Now we're pals. He said he's considering starting a skit show that will not have a political bias. He said, I can't even watch Saturday Night Live anymore.
Would be wonderful. I know.
So I don't know what channel that would be, and if Rob Schneider pitches this to a network, if they would do it. He's got a show that was on a network.
That would be amazing.
It'd be interesting to see. Yeah, we're pals on Instagram now, Heidi.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's nice.
I send him messages all the time. He never replies. Hey, hit me up, man. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
At FunkyMonkeyShirts.com, we want to remind you it's never too early to start thinking about Valentine's Day and what says I love you better than awesome, matching fun t-shirts. Get something for your sweetie and for you. We have several his and hers t-shirt designs to choose from at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Let the world know how much you love one another and wear your heart on your sleeve. Well, at least on your shirt. With a little help from FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Time now for a new feature called Fear This Fun Phobia. No, Fear This. That's what I typed it out. Fear This Fun Phobia time.
Okay. All right.
Off to a bang-up start. Can we go back to the word of the day? Okay. Arrenphobia. What do you think arrenphobia is, Heidi?
Arrenphobia?
Arrenphobia. Arrenphobia. Arrenphobia.
I have no idea.
It is the fear of men. Do you have arrenphobia?
No.
I wonder how common that is. I wonder if that's
Miley has that.
Our dog, yeah, we have a puppy dog named Miley. She is not nearly afraid of me now as she used to be.
But
she
she
used to be so
be
afraid
terrified.
of men. Man would walk in the room, she'd hide. Now she hides by me because I am her protector. Arrenphobia. Fear this. Today's fun phobia.
Want a good laugh to start every day? We do, and you can too. Be sure to follow WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com on Facebook. Every morning we send out our Weird Gift of the Day. You don't even have to buy anything. You can just follow our page and laugh at the bizarre real gift items we find and share every morning. And maybe you can share them with your friends who have a good sense of humor too. We have a link to make it easy to find us at WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news to get to, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. You want to know what today's weird gift is, Heidi?
Yes.
It's a spaghetti monster strainer. So it's a strainer that looks like a spaghetti monster.
Oh.
Yeah. Bizarre stuff. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
I like that site. That's fun.
Police say that a man in California stole a car, then attempted to flee from officers. He was going over 100 miles an hour when he hit a cattle pen, and then he got stuck in a bunch of cattle dung.
Ah.
Yeah. So they had to go out. This 40-year-old Brian Wooliver stole a Kia Optima, which you wouldn't think would even go 110 miles an hour. Maybe they do. He sped away in the middle of a traffic stop. He reportedly drove over 110 miles an hour in this Kia. Officers decided not to pursue him due to the potential safety risks, so they slowed down, but he did not. He ended up crashing into a pile of dirt near a dairy farm. When he exited the vehicle on foot, he hid in a dairy cattle pen. So he hit a pile of dirt, but then he ran into the poo. They found him. He was covered He was surrounded by 100 cows covered in cow feces. So, yuck. That is definitely some weird news right there. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Talk about terrible timing. 2 women were caught stealing $1,900 worth of electronics in a Target store the same day as the Shop for a Shop with a Cop event. So 15 police officers from 4 different departments were all in this place at the same time. They were at a Target store with 22 disadvantaged children, letting them pick out presents for their families. That's when 40-year-old Kiana Wilson and 18-year-old Diana Johnson decided, hey, we're going to go in and we're going to steal some stuff. Well, they had a whole bunch of people watching them because they were being very shady the way they were acting. They stole a couple of Apple Watches, a couple of iPads, some Nintendo gaming systems.
They weren't messing around.
Yeah, then they walked past the registers without paying. An officer from the loss prevention is the one who apprehended them, but there just happened to be, 20 feet away, about, 40 or 22?
Wow.
How many were there now? 15 police officers.
I cannot even believe they wouldn't have noticed.
You'd think so. Hey, maybe we should do this later.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Bad idea. Or you just don't do it ever. That's a
No,
much
you
better
don't.
idea.
Absolutely you don't.
This has been today's Moment of Duh.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Time now for a dad joke of the day. By the way,
right.
thank you to everybody who's sending these in. This is
I know you got a ton of them.
this is probably the most popular thing ever. When I ask for people to do stuff, usually they're like, no, I don't think so. I was like, anybody got a terrible joke that's Heidi's going to groan at? They're like, buckle up, I got a ton. How about this one? Do you know the first French fries were not actually cooked in France? They were cooked in Greece. I actually do like these.
I know you do. These are your kind of jokes.
Oh, boy. Keep them coming. If you've got a Dear John, not a Dear John, I keep saying that. If you've got a dad joke, if you've got a Dear John letter, you can send those
Send those too.
But if you've got a dad joke you'd like to submit, you can send that to John at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Time now for some good news. This is a great way to wrap the program up here. And as we were preparing for 2019 and coming up with ideas for, maybe we should make some adjustments, this was the one thing that was like untouchable.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. It's nice to end on a happy note.
Yeah, and I get comments from people all the time that talk about how I just love listening to the good news because it is such an uplifting thing. Our good news comes your way courtesy of Weird Gift of the Day. Here's the headline. Women encircle crying mom whose toddler was having a meltdown at the airport. So if you've ever traveled with kids, not always fun. I mean,
not even necessarily as traveling with kids, just having kids.
You have kids. If you live with children. Airports might not typically act as a spark plug for stress. Or no, they probably do. I read that wrong. But they can also give strangers the opportunity to assist during moments of travel anxiety. This happened recently. It was in the last year. This is one of the top 10 most viral good news stories. I don't remember reading this one.
I don't remember reading this one.
So it must have just recently happened. Anyway, there was a young lady. She was they were at LAX, going to board their flight to Portland. And the departure was taking a while. And her son, was acting up and, having some problems. A toddler, looked to be 18 months old or so, was having a meltdown, running between seats, kicking and screaming, lying on the ground, refusing to board the plane. His young mother, clearly pregnant, traveling alone with her son, became completely overwhelmed. She couldn't even pick him up because she was so upset. He kept running away from her, then lying on the ground. And that is when other mothers came around her and basically had a big circle around her. 6 or 7 women from around the boarding area convened on the young mother, formed a circle around her and her toddler, and each woman did something to help calm down the distressed duo. How cool is that? So the one lady sang Itsy Bitsy Spider to the little boy and got the little boy to, get out of acting naughty mode and into playing and having fun mode. And it's just a really cool story. I think that's neat.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's wonderful. I've certainly been there
a
time or two where you're just so overwhelmed.
She could also use some assistance getting her husband to behave once in a while. That's me, by the way. If you would like to read this story, I have a link to it in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.